Here we go again.
Yeah, I guess we're back again. We're gonna try to make a shorter video this time, maybe see if we can cap it at 30 minutes. It's gonna be kind of hard to do because we tend to run on.
Yes, we do.
Maybe in the future I'll try to make them 15 or 20 minutes so you're more inclined to watch. I know that's a problem for some people, and it's not intentional. We just get on a roll, or I get on a roll and I don't feel like stopping. Like right now, I need to stop that. Truck again.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous how much money spent on that lights underneath that thing.
I don't know why people spend that much.
Wheels and brakes and everything are lit up. Anyways. In my life, I've had more important things to spend money on.
Me too.
So, did this thing already go out?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm dragging on death here. Well, literally and figuratively.
Well, at least it's clearing up.
Yeah, it sprinkled a little bit on us out here, kind of at a spot that a lot of local homeless people come and sleep at night. There's a lot of lights all around it, so they can't do it very well. There's a couple dark spots around here.
Yeah,
and definitely a couple spots to take a leak or squat if that's what you need to do. Try to avoid that in public. Anyways.
All right, then. Let's talk about the street thing. What's the scariest thing you've seen if you've been in like homeless areas?
The creepiest or
creepiest?
Well, some of the scariest things I've seen are people
that
are armed with whatever sort of weapon they might have, because anything can be a weapon, and they're on a very bad trip with drugs and psychologically. But the creepiest thing was waking up in a group campsite where someone had passed away during the night. Someone had died, and I believe it was an overdose. And yeah, the sad thing is when a homeless person dies and there's other homeless people around, before anyone calls any authorities, everything has gone through, and anything worth anything is taken, because otherwise the county's going to end up with it, the city. So it's cruel, but that's life when you're surviving. So that was creepy. Scary things, just like I said, armed people on drugs with psychological disorders.
You ran into a lot of them?
Yeah, I definitely ran into, like I said, that one gal I was telling you about off camera, that had the baseball bat behind me when her male friend was assaulting me from the front.
Yeah.
And I had to fight or not fight, deciding on whether I wanted to get beat in the skull from behind by his friend with a baseball bat, or if I wanted to just take what had happened and stop it there. So I chose, for my sake and law enforcement's sake, to just kind of stop it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof,
There's a lot of violence that happens very suddenly. Matter of fact, yesterday when I was making the second video in my series that I haven't posted yet, but while I was talking to my mother on the phone, sitting there in the spot I was going to film, where I eventually did film, the homeless guy came up to me and came right up and was obnoxious as hell and wanting to get a fight. And I just got up and had to walk away, and then he went where I had moved away to, and wanted to get in a fight again, and finally he just left because he realized I wasn't rising to his stupid bait. I definitely didn't want the police, and I'm above all that crap now.
Damn.
So yeah, there's dangerous things, scary things on the street, you know.
There was a spooky thing then. You ran into like some
spooky thing. Okay, a lot of people probably aren't gonna like this, but my friend, my campmate Vic first saw it when we were camping in the woods down at say Walnut Lawn and Kansas Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a stretch of woods by that huge ponding basin, and we had a campsite in there, in a clearing, and the trail came in the clearing, and at night he told me the next day he's seen a dark figure, he said, with glowing orangey red eyes, and I was like, you said you were on meth and you're drinking, dude. 1 week later I was there in the campsite. He said when he tried to approach it or tried to make contact with it by talking to it, it disappeared. And I thought he was high, you know, drunk, high, both.
Yeah.
So, yeah, about a week later, I saw it, and when I tried to talk to it and move toward it, it disappeared. It was a dark figure with glowing orangey red eyes. Maybe I was drunk. I know I wasn't high.
Hell no.
Yeah, it was creepy. That was the spooky. Okay, it also slept in a spooky house that was abandoned, and it made noises at night that I didn't like. You know, and anytime you're in an empty house like that, you never know who's going to creep in also in the middle of the night. It's all right. You never know who's going to creep in in the middle of the night. Or if you come into a house after darkness, who might already be in that house.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of have to walk around and call ahead out of yourself. You don't want to surprise anyone
because they could probably
squatting
come out.
in a house.
Because they're probably coming straight out of you.
Yeah,
I seen on YouTube videos that they walk in abandoned places and they, like, people pop out of nowhere and just, like, run after them, scare them off.
Yeah.
And it's the darkest places you can ever find in houses and everything. I think that's the most spookiest thing. It's the people.
The most dangerous thing on the street is people.
Yes.
You know, whether it's people driving cars that are on their phone, because, you know, being a direct observer of traffic, watching people pull up next to me, watching people consistently drive by me over and over and over, all these different people, all staring at their phones, typing in their phones. And I remember in the 70s, man, you wanted to make a phone call, you had to stop and pay some coins, you know, in a box on the side of the road or a gas station.
Some over there.
There's like one or two left in the city, I think.
Yeah, I see one over down that way on the south, and I see one right over there. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, the one down that street is dead. The box is still there, but the phone's gone. So
well, this one has a phone and everything in front of a house.
Yeah, well, there's one down there. Anyways, you don't find them. So I was like, why do these people have to talk to each other so much? It's great we have communication, you know, and this right here is a fine example of we have, you know, the social media and all this way to communicate our stories or our thoughts and beliefs or whatever we want to communicate to everyone. But does it need to be done while you're driving? Really? Maybe that's why I got knocked off on my bicycle, you know. But, you know, like I said, when I was a kid, either waited till you got home, and we had the house where we had a single dial phone. Hold on, a single dial phone with like a 15 or 20 foot coil cord on it in the kitchen. Ours was, you know, was like a long ass cord, and if you want to talk on the phone, you talked on the phone in the kitchen or as far as you could walk away from it. And everyone was around to listen to you. That was the only phone in the house. And
you don't have that party line that had
we were not party line people.
You know what I mean? Like, you pick it up and you can fucking hear the other person.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. We're not that old.
Well, mine started.
It was hard to dial 911.
Mine was getting digital. Or we still had the cord, the little rotor.
You know, the push buttons.
We had the nice push buttons, but we can go like maybe 7 feet, 8 feet out, and it just dies on you.
Oh, the cordless. Oh, I'm talking about the ones on the old spring-loaded spool and stretchy cords. We had one of those.
Yeah. My mom and them was the first one that had a phone down that way.
Yeah.
And all these Native Americans all come up and all these assholes and like, God, get the fuck away from us. Paid my mom like $10 to use the phone because it racks up fast.
Yeah. No, there you go. That's always legal. We're not in California. Anyways,
back in my days, the cell phone was coming out, so it was like the phone. It was funny. The smallest you can find the phone, it was the coolest.
Yeah, I know. Now it's the biggest phone you can get.
Yeah.
Anyways, so back to that. You know, they're all on the cell phone. You know, and so that was when you're standing out there on the center divide. You know, when it was legal in the city. I mean, I did it for 2.5, 3 years of standing on the center before they outlawed it, and then it was $130-something ticket for that fine for standing on the center. It's a median violation, they called it. Safety issue. They would never break down to me exactly who got hit. They would say, like, this police officer would say, well, 9 pedestrians were hit last year in the city, you know. And so that's what this is about, you know. And then they would say, some other officer would say, 13 people were hit last year in the city, you know. Yeah. It's posted on one corner. None of the numbers they give me would match the corner. It was posted on a big billboard how safe the city was or how dangerous it was, you know, for pedestrians. And I'd ask the officers when they interfere with me, and I'd say, well, how many of those people were in crosswalks hit by people who were on their cell phone? Well, that's not important. I said, well, how many were homeless people standing on the center divide? Well, that's not important. It's a safety issue. And I say, no, it's an image issue for the city of Springfield. I said, if you have homeless people standing on the center divide and everyone's in town to see Bass Pro Shops, because that's a big, big tourist destination in this area, they don't want homeless people standing on the center divide, you know, to make the city look bad. And so you passed this law so we can't stand on the center divide. And then they made it harder to stand on the corners. And then they made it, you know, they started enforcing very hard that you could not step into traffic to accept money. They started ticketing drivers that would hand you money. But that was only one, like, you know, maybe, like, I've seen that happen 3 times out of like 100 times where they actually ticketed the other people, you know. Well, but they didn't ticket me 100 times for that, but I'm saying, you know, of people taking money And me personally, they would ticket me, and I'd even say, hey, what's going on with this person that actually gave me money? I don't want to snitch them out, but I mean, they saw it, and they're not enforcing the law legally, equally. You know, legally fine, but not equally.
Wow.
I don't know.
But I know this is the -- rough place to live.
The city's tough.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially the west side. Yeah.
North side going on.
North side's bad. North side's dangerous.
Very bad.
Yeah. West side's also dangerous, man. If you live west of the west side, it's not good. And these people are funny because I'm from the original west side. I was gonna say west side. Now I'm probably gonna get threats and get shot. But that's what we did in California because that's the west side. Anyways, so yeah, it's a dangerous city, you know. But
a rough city.
But some people, even what you would think dangerous people are, stay away from the homeless people, you know, unless they think you can sell you drugs. You know, or there's a crowd in this city that's, you know, there's a lot of drug dealers and a lot of drugs in this city.
Yeah.
You know, and heroin's real bad right now. Heroin bad right now. And anyways, they're all getting fentanyl in the heroin, and they're having so many overdoses.
Well, you heard about the meth thing around here? They're spraying it with bugs, like.
No, they've been every time they do something different with meth, it doesn't surprise me. I always call it better living through modern chemistry.
It's on
look
the
at,
news and everything.
Look at the toll it takes on people. That's why I never touch the shit.
Because there's some guy
I like to sleep. I don't like to be awake.
When I used to do it, I didn't. I used to do it, not now, okay. But when I used to do it, I just stayed awake. Because I didn't want to sleep at all.
I don't like that.
The only thing I just didn't want to sleep.
Someone gave me Adderall in jail one time. You know how people trade pills in jail.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? You trade a pill for food. So
You
I'm
took
like,
off like fucking.
oh man, he didn't tell me what it was gonna do to me, and I was like, I'm game, I'm bored. You know, let's do something.
You're fucking.
So, oh my God, I could feel my hair growing, and I could not stop clenching my jaw. I could not sleep for like a day and a half, 2 days, man. I was so mad. He comes back to me like a couple days later, and he's like, "You want another one of those Adderall?"
Hell no.
I was like, "Get the hell away from me, kid! I like my sleep, man." Every time I was clenching my jaw like this, you know, I'd make myself open my jaw, and then like 30 seconds later, I'd be there again.
You had a body high. Like
I was so angry, dude. I was so mad about it. Taking another one of them things, and then basically, everyone in jail's telling me, "Dude, that's like pharmaceutical grade speed. You just got like meth, but like prescription meth." And I'm like, I never wanted to do meth.
Oh my gosh, this is what happened to me. I took one of those things because my she's a cousin, but she's like a little sister to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, she has ADHD.
Yeah.
And so she takes one of those to calm her down.
Right. It
And
works for them,
I was worked up, like I was high.
It works for people.
Yeah, it does.
ADHD,
Yes.
Sorry, not for them.
And well, anyways, she was like, "Hey, this calms me down. Take it." I was like, "What is it?" She's like, "This calms me down," because I was worked up. I was like restless. She was take it.
Take it restless.
Then all of a sudden I was sitting there. I was like, "I'm gonna go to sleep." Oh my God, what the hell? Come on, let's do it. And I was freaking hyped up. I cleaned my uncle's kitchen, his fucking front room, back. It was already clean. I could have over cleaned it again. So before he got back, he's like, "What the hell?"
I figured. When I took it, I was stuck in a jail cell.
Oh man, it sucked.
You can only clean your jail cell so much, especially when it's not cleaning time. You don't have chemicals. You know.
You just wipe the floor.
I just tried to sleep and read, dude. I was like, oh, I can't sleep. So I just read and read. I'm like, what did I just read? Let's go back a few pages. What did I just read? Okay, I think this looks familiar. Yeah, and then I was all jittery, man, and I was like clenching my teeth, you know, and like my hair's growing. You know, it's not a good thing. If you don't like that sort of feeling, don't chase it, folks.
No.
Oh my God,
it's really bad.
So whatever, on the street, yeah, I knew guys on heroin. Yeah, I knew a lot of guys on heroin. I knew people crying in their tent next to me all night.
Oh God.
Trying to get a needle in for hours, trying to stab a needle in their arm.
I never been to a campsite. I've been to people's houses, and it was really freaking creepy. I mean,
Don't go to people's houses when you're homeless.
Yes.
If you can avoid it.
Yes,
it can be an okay experience, but it can also be really fucking creepy. And especially when someone pulls out their gun from their bedroom and walks out, and you're trying to sleep on the couch, and they rack around in the chamber and tell you this is their Glock 40. Now you better not screw around in my house.
I wish somebody did that to me. I got put in his house.
He did again. He came back out. He didn't rack another round. And he came back out again and waved it when I took a piss and woke him up at like 2:30 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
Oh my God.
He come out and he said, "This is my Glock 40." I'm like, "Brother, I had to pee, man. You took me out to like this bar and then you took me out to the pool hall and then you let me sleep on your house, you know, your couch in your house. It's like 20 degrees out again. I'm like in Republic, so I'm nowhere close to my stuff in my campsite.
Yeah.
I can't walk out his door. This guy's already brought his gun out twice. In the morning, he wakes up before me, and there's this big giant change jar, like one of the big giant mayonnaise change jars in the kitchen. I seen it when I walked in the house. I'm like, yummy. But I was like, I'm not touching that. This guy gave me enough kindness to let me sleep in his house. I'm not going to touch anything, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not like that, you know. I was freaked out enough just being in someone's house. I don't like it. I don't like to be around someone's stuff and be responsible. Feel like, you know. So he comes out in the morning, wakes up before me. Then he wakes me up and goes, "Hey, I went around the house and make sure you didn't touch my shit." I'm like, "Cool, dude, I didn't," you know. And he goes, "Well, I made sure." He said, "You didn't even touch my change in my change jar." I was like, "I told you I wouldn't, man." But there's other homeless times when I was in people's houses when I was homeless that one was very, very great. It was fine. It was a wonderful, perfect experience. I know the guy was nervous. He let me stay in his apartment while he stayed at his girlfriend's apartment with all his mechanics tools and everything in there. And he trusted me. We sat and talked, him and his girlfriend and her girlfriend, or his girlfriend's friend. We all sat and talked in front of this bar on my birthday, you know. And we're sitting on a bench outside, and they got to realize I was a human being, you know. Yeah. And that, you know, my image is when they first saw me walk up, you know, was a homeless person. You know, they were blown away when they talked to me. So, he says, "You know what, brother?" He says, "I know it's your birthday and everything." He says, "I was planning on spending the night at my girlfriend's," and he said, "My apartment's going to be empty." He says, I really am nervous, but he says, "I'll let you stay in my place tonight, you know." He said, "You can take a shower and sleep in a bed." And so I couldn't believe it. And I was like, "Wow, you know, are you sure?" Because that always puts me in a spot where I feel very uncomfortable, you know. I'm in someone else's place with him not there. So he'd come back and say, "Yeah, I took anything and I can't defend myself," you know. But then he's going to have to say he let a homeless guy stay in his apartment all night without him there. But I didn't touch the shit. I was scared. Someone, they give me their leftover food. It was like cut in half burger, so it wasn't all bitten up and everything. Anyways.
How you doing?
We're all right. We're filming a video over here, so. We're filming a video over here, so.
Want to be on where?
Right here. So, please don't interrupt. Thanks.
I'm not trying to interrupt you.
I understand, man. I know.
I got permission.
It's fine. Thank you. Sorry. Maybe that wasn't appropriate. Sometimes they'll come over and just interrupt and start talking and join. And I didn't really feel like that right now. So yeah, this guy let me stay in his apartment all night, and then he shows up in the morning. Well, I used his ketchup, and I used his microwave because he said, you know, I could eat whatever's in his fridge, and I had that half a burger cut in half, not all bitten in half like some people give me. Yeah. And I heated up in the microwave, used ketchup, and then I watched. He showed me how to use the TV before he left, and they told me I had to go outside through the gates outside like twice and go to the parking lot to smoke. And I respected him enough. I did that. You know, I didn't smoke even outside his door or walk down the stairs. So then he came in the morning, and I said, "Man," and I didn't take a shower. I slept in his bed, and I felt guilty about that because I was dirty, you know, but I felt even more guilty about using a shower. For some reason, I just didn't want to intrude on his home. It was nice enough to sleep in a bed, you know, and not be scared about, you know, what's the cops coming or is someone going to attack me or someone going to steal my shit while I'm asleep. You know, I'm not sleeping on the uncomfortable ass ground. You know, my hips were so sore because I sleep on my side. I had sores on my hips for a while, sleeping on my side.
But when you get into bed, it stiffs you up because you're not used to it.
But it was so nice. I slept so good that night. Of course, you know, they've been buying me drinks after they started talking to me. And so, yeah, he said he was really worried because all his mechanics tools were there, you know. And I'd seen, he showed me some of those tools, which is kind of stupid, I guess, on his part. But, you know, they trusted me. They learned to trust me that quick, you know. And so, you know, he doesn't have some of my stuff. You know, I worked as a mechanic, and, you know, and he's really struggling there. He's also having relationship problems with his girlfriend. He was like, you know, we figured out over the night, you know, that they were both like scared to commit further, you know.
Yeah.
And he was, I guess, too self-protective of his feelings or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, but it doesn't matter. That's a whole nother subject. I wasn't Dr. Phil or anything. You can do it. Don't be it.
Yeah.
Do it. Don't want it. Do it.
Yeah.
Don't think it. Be it. Did you read my book? Have you seen my DVDs? Anyways, so yeah, I gave them a little love advice. Told him to cut flowers from wildflowers instead of buying her flowers, you know. And she high-fived with her girlfriend about that. I said it shows that you care more if you cut flowers for her than you can buy flowers. And so, anyways, so he let me stay. Well, there was another creepy time when I was kidnapped, but I'm not getting into that now. We only about 20 minutes, and we're going to try to cut this at about a half an hour, I think.
Yes.
So we got 10 more minutes to talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Do you want to think about it or whatever you want to talk about?
I just said last time I spent in the house with somebody I never did after that. Me and my friend Kyle, we were in this one guy's house. He's like, hey, come over, you know, he's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden he got in there. He had a split personality.
Uh-oh.
Okay? And Kyle was like,
listen, kids, this is more fun.
this is fucked up, though.
We always have more fun when there's more people involved in one head.
Well, my friend Kyle, he's like, I'm gonna go sleep right here. And there's like a rocking chair like this. And all of a sudden he was sleeping right here, like angled. And there's this big old bed in the middle of this little cottage house.
Right.
And it's just a bathroom way over there. Like, you have to climb over the bed,
Yeah.
get to the other side.
Oh, whoa.
And
Yeah.
He's like, this guy was like, I'll buy you some beers. But, all right, we stopped. He bought more beers for us. We were drinking, and Kyle's like, I'm gonna pass out. And he's like, I said, okay. He wrapped himself up tight. Then all of a sudden, this guy came out. You want to see my asshole? I was like, what the fuck? His name is Nathan. Nathan.
The second personality?
No, this is the fucking guy named Nathan. Then all of a
Okay.
sudden, it snapped back into this, like, I don't know what he called himself, like glitter toes or something like that. I don't know.
Be nice.
But anyways, he had medicine, and he kept talking about it. I guess when you take it, you're stuck in one mindset.
Okay.
And well, I don't know, but he never took it. But every time,
Right.
and all of a sudden, he was like looking at my friend. Hey, he climbed down there beside him, put his arm around him, and said, "Hey." And he's like,
Oh, shit.
he's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "I just want to say I bleached my asshole. You want to see it?"
Oh,
and,
shit.
and all of a sudden, he's like, "What the fuck? Get off me, Nathan! Get the fuck off it!" But he didn't know who that was. He's, "Oh, I'm sorry." You know, all of a sudden, he's like, "I need to take my medicine." Locks over there. Got it. That whole fucking night, he had medicine everywhere.
Right.
But instead, my friend, he was laying there on the ground. He grabbed my arm. Please, if anything happens, wake me up. I said, what the fuck are you wrapped up tight? I'm over here staying awake. So if I see that motherfucker coming at me,
Right.
I'm taking off. I'm moving on a lot. And oh my God, all night he's like, what'd your friend think of me? I said, I was just fucking with him too. I was like, I don't know, he might like it. I said, go ahead and
Go ahead.
tickle him. He's
Tickle
like,
him.
maybe I should. And he was squatting down. I was like, oh, Nathan, don't do that. I was just like, he said, have you ever had a man? I was like, dude, I'm
Yeah.
straighter to hell. And I said, I'm not afraid of my masculinity. You know what I mean?
Masculinity, yeah.
But anyways, he was like, just come on, just close your eyes. I was like, no, what the fuck? Get away from me. And all of a sudden, he was like, just close your eyes. I was like, fuck you, Nathan. I said, I will knock this shit out of you. I can call you Twinkle Toes or whatever you want to, but he's going to be laying out. He said, what happened with your friend? I said, if anything comes to happen, I'm fucking hitting that door. That motherfucker is wrapped up tight and asleep. He's a burrito for you.
Yeah.
I said, fuck this shit.
Weird things happen when you go to people's houses,
Dude,
man.
he was drinking. He never took his whole medicine.
Oh, okay.
No, he took his
probably
medicine.
shouldn't take his medicine
No,
and
he
drink.
he took it and drank a beer, and he laid down, ass up in the air,
Oh, God.
all night. I was like, God dang it, please. And I was trying to sleep, but the sun was already up. I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I kicked my friend. I was like, get your ass up. I said, next time you fall asleep, it's my turn and your turn to
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 stay
watch
guard
out.
all night.
Yeah. He's like, deal. I said, man. He said, what happened all night? I said, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to fucking talk about it. This is the first time I talked about it too. I didn't want to talk about it. So yeah, that's the last time. And I ran into him again
Oh, no.
while I was coming up here to Missouri.
Oh, dude.
He was, I don't know how that motherfucker beat his ear All right.
Right.
He was walking with his bags and stuff. He's like, "Oh, I remember you." I said, "I don't fucking want to know." He's like, "Oh, you shaved your mustache off." I was like, "Yeah."
It's funny the people you run into over and over, like you never think you'll see again, then you bump into them. You're like, what the
I just
fuck?
ran into a fucking girl at a gas station that I was hitting on a long time ago in fucking Westfield.
Right.
She's like, "You remember me?" I was like, "What the fuck are you?" She said, "I am Canada." You know,
Yeah.
oh, I was like, I didn't know I ran into you.
Oh.
It was like 6 years ago, dude. She said, "You were drunk as hell that night." I was like, "I guess so." That's when I used to really bad.
Oh my God.
And she's like, "I remember me."
Yeah, there's other stories that I'm not getting into about sleeping in people's houses. That
That was the only time, though.
I told you about the lady that kidnapped me that time, basically, but we're not getting into that now. That was 4 days of fun. Managed to escape for my mother's birthday, on my mother's birthday too, to go home and say hi to Mom, even though I was on the streets. I had to go see Mom. Well, happy birthday, Mom. Not now, but I had to see him then. See her then. Anyways, so still got some time, not a lot.
Oh, I'll get a cigarette.
How about the time I refused to ID myself to the sheriff's department down there on Farm Road 135, down south of Candace and
Yeah, go ahead, say
I would
that,
say
yeah.
Republic and Golden,
Yeah, it's that one.
south of the intersection. My mom lived probably 10, 14-minute walk, depending on how fast your pace was, from the corner gas station. She had 5 acres and she was in county property, just outside of city limits. And she, when I was homeless, would allow me sometimes, if I was sober enough, to come and do laundry and maybe take a shower. And even if I was that sober, spend the night in the bed, or maybe sleep out the barn or on the pasture. She could only tolerate so much, and I don't blame her at all. God bless my mom. She tolerated a lot. But I was walking to my mom's house one time from that corner, and I was homeless, so I got my clothes on that don't look nice. I'm shabby, and I got my big Alice pack on, and it's loaded up. And no, it was a different pack that time. It was a tactical pack that had Velcro on the back and had my name on it from when I had money. So it was something that I managed to hang on to.
Yeah, I guess
I was early in my homelessness because I was still seeing my mom's house before she was gone. So walking up toward her house on the sidewalk, and it's a nice community down there. They're not used to seeing homeless in that area. It's kind of when I spend a lot of time down there, why I spent a lot of time down that area, in that corner, to make money, because they weren't overwhelmed by homeless people, so they were more likely to give, and they were more affluent. So so I had these 2 sheriffs roll up on me from each side on the side of the road, and stop like a freaking felony stop, except they don't pull their guns out and jump out, but they both climb out. And they said, one of them says right away, "I need to see your ID." And I'd already learned, and I've told Eric stories about how the first time I refused to show my ID, and a couple other times I refused to show my ID. It is legal in the city, not in the city of Springfield, but in the county with the sheriffs. If they don't suspect you of committing a crime, you don't have to show your identification. And Eric was a marshal, is technically still a marshal.
No, I'm
you're
a former.
Former, okay, but yeah, but I thought you for 15 years you're technically legally liable for any. Anyways, it doesn't matter. He's a marshal.
Yes.
And he says that you can even ask them if they hold you in contempt.
That's the thing. Yes.
Then you can continue to walk if they can't hold you in contempt, which means they suspect you're breaking the law. So I already knew my rights, and I was tired of being harassed by the police. So when I said, "Do you suspect me of committing a crime?" when they requested my identification, and he says, "No." He took a pause. He said, "No," but he says, "I just need to see your ID now." And I said, "Do you suspect me of committing a crime again?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Well, then you can call your supervisor right now, because I'm not doing anything wrong, and I don't need to show you my ID." And he says, "Well, just give me your name." Right? That trick they pull. So we can have a conversation.
They bully you into doing stuff. So just let you know, they bully you. You got the rights.
He was a marshal. Yeah,
use your rights. You got rights.
So he's trying to get my first name, and then they're going to try to do whatever they can do to
intimidate you.
Information.
Intimidate
me. And I already requested, excuse me again, that I have supervisor come
Supervisor,
out.
that's a
They
good
would
one.
not do it.
Oh,
So
see.
no.
Yeah, right.
So, right. So I then asked them. So I said, "Am I free to walk away?" And they paused. They didn't want to answer right away. Well, it's one officer talking. The other one was standing back playing, Silent Bob or whatever.
Sounds like intimidating.
Yeah, playing Silent Bob or Penn and Teller playing Teller. Anyways, so he says, "Yeah, you're free to go." And I said, "Okay." I said, before I stepped away, I said, "Why did you stop me today?" And I told you what he said. Dig this. He said, "You don't look like you belong here."
That's no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Just
No
let you know.
shit.
No shit. That's
I said, if I was black, dude, I'd have a lawsuit against your ass right now. But what do you do when you're homeless? You're not really a class that's discriminated against by the police that really are legally represented. So, as a little teaser to them, again, I was with my tactical backpack. I had my name on it, on the Velcro patch, and I said, "Here you go, I'm going to give you this." And I did a slow 360. And one officer said, "Cole, huh?" And I said, "Yep." And I gave him a peace sign and started walking away. And so then I got to my mom's house, and well, she's got 5 acres. I didn't think I had anything on me, but warrant-wise or anything that way, but I wasn't taking chances. So when I got under 5 acres, I was in an outbuilding, no problem, hidden, and they weren't gonna find me. So that was my excitement with the time that I did one time that I refused to ID myself to the police. So that was excitement,
I just had mine this a while back.
Yeah.
I was sitting on a public open space and they got me. I didn't do shit. They didn't hold me contempt. Walk on.
Yeah, I guess you have the right.
Yep.
You hold me in contempt if they don't suspect you committing a crime.
Yep.
Walk on.
Yep.
I actually told an officer one time, the very first time I refused to identify myself, and when it got down to the point where I asked for a supervisor, he said, we don't have to do that. He had said, the reason he stopped me is he said people around the area said I was trying to hide from him. And I'm like, I'm not trying to hide from you, brother. I'm usually at this gas station sitting out front or sitting out back on the slab out there drinking a beer, And so anyways, when I got to the point where I asked for a supervisor and he said, we don't need to do that. And I said, so I'm free to walk away? And he looks at me and he says, yeah, you're free to walk away. I said, you're free to get in your car and drive away.
You can say
Oh,
anything.
my
You can
God.
public speech. You can say anything. You can say fuck off.
He gave me one of them dirty, smirky smiles like, yeah. So he watched me for almost an hour. I walked across the street, sat by family video under the overhang in the rain, and read a book, didn't drink a beer, smoked my cigarettes, threw my butts in my pocket. He watched me from a church parking lot across the kitty corner. And then he finally left. And I finally got to open my beer. So, should we end it on that one right now? It's
Maybe we
like
have to
about
edit.
33 minutes or so.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry, we're not super technical about this
Yes,
shit.
sorry.
We're just trying to get this out there, you
Yeah.
know. So we're having fun with it. Hopefully you're having fun. If not, then don't watch. Pretty much.
Yep.
And say your shit about subscribing again.
Yeah, subscribe to his channel. Hit and subscribe and hit the bell.
That's all you gotta say?
Yeah.
Hit subscribe and hit the bell, I guess. Ding! Okay.
Notification.
That's all. Say goodnight.
Yeah.
Okay, you get it.
I get it.
You get it. You found fun. You get to do